Hello, fellow workshoppers. I'm just going to take a minute here to put into action how I would perform these 3 pre-reading strategies that I talked to you about. So just to review, the 3 pre-reading strategies are previewing the text, making connections with yourself, with the world around you, and with other texts. And then finally asking questions and making predictions. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to post a link below this video of the article that I'm going to just pre-read, show you how I would pre-read it. It's a New York Times article entitled "To Tug Hearts, Music Must First Tickle the Neurons." So if I really wanted to make sure that I got the most out of this reading, before I read it, I would first read the title, "To Tug Hearts, Music First Must Tickle the Neurons." And then I'd start trying to activate prior knowledge, make connections to things to things I already know, to me, to other things I've read, or to the world around me. And so I start thinking about the title. The heart is neurons, I know, are brain cells, so somehow music has to affect brain cells in order to affect your heart. That's what this article, I think, is going to say. So I'm curious. So now I start asking questions about this. I say, I'm curious as to how they show that connection between the brain and the heart. I wonder how they'll show it. So I'm going to continue, and it's not like you do these steps one at a time. They sort of all go together. So I just first previewed the title, made connections, asked questions, and I didn't make a prediction, but maybe I'll do that in a moment with another. So I'm going to skim through. I'm just going to start skimming through the text, and I see that they mention Paul Simon, and I think, oh, when I was a kid, I had that CD he had with Ladysmith Black Mambazo. I wonder what he's going to have to do with this. I know he has to do with music, but I wonder if there's anything scientific that has to go with him. I know he does a lot of stuff with beats, and maybe something to do with rhythm makes some connection between your neurons, your brain cells, and your heart. So again, I saw his name, and I made a connection, and then I wondered about it, I asked a question, and then I made a prediction. So this all can go very fast if you're not explaining it. So I'm just scrolling down, and I see Beethoven, and I think, oh, classical music. I do know how they say that classical music can help kids learn better. You know, a lot of times teachers like to put that on in the background for little kids, so I wonder how that'll tie in. Oh, I see something about somebody at McGill University. I think McGill University is in Montreal in Canada. So I'll be interested to say what it's probably an expert, I would guess, that I'll be interested to hear what the expert has to say. He probably studies this. So again, previewing, making a connection, something I already know, and then asking questions or making predictions. So I'm going to keep scrolling down. Nothing's jumping out to me right now. There's a few pages of this article, so I'll probably just do one more. So I'm just scrolling down, and I see that there's a section called "The Element of Surprise," and it says, "Say the cellist Yo-Yo Ma is playing a 12-minute sonata featuring a 4-note melody that reoccurs several times." Just saw a name that popped out to me. A lot of times I look at headings, skim through to see names, anything in bold. Yo-Yo Ma, I think, well, it says he's a cellist, but I've seen him play before, and I know that he plays with emotion, so I'll be interested to see if this article makes some sort of connection between the emotion that the performer puts into the music and what the person who's listening to the music hears. So I'm not going to do the whole article, and again, stopping to explain it takes a lot longer than these thoughts that pass through your mind. But good readers, before they read something that they know might have difficulty reading, they really activate that prior knowledge. They get their brain ready. They get their neurons ready to receive the information, to make connections by looking through the text, to find things that jump out, headings, names, etc., making connections to things that you already know, things you've already read, things that you've seen around you in your life, or things you know personally hold true for you. And then part of that final part of that process is just wondering, starting to ask questions and to make some predictions about some of those questions you have. All of those things, when you're reading the text, when you go to actually read the text in earnest, they're all going to help you stay attuned and look for those answers that you were curious about, which really help you tune in to the reading. And whether you're right or wrong with your predictions, or whether your questions end up being on target or not, those are things that you can assess while you read, but you'll just be more tuned in from doing those 3 pre-reading activities. I hope that helps. Again, I'll have the link to the article that I was doing, and I kind of did this extemporaneously, so yeah, take care.